Welcome to the World of Horror podcast with Mom and Mac. I'm Mom.
And I'm Mac.
This is the podcast where we share our love of international horror. Everyone has their fears, but we are not afraid of subtitles. Disclaimers for adult language and spoilers. Hi, Mac. How's it going?
Hi, Mom. You know, it's going. Your boy Mac's a little bit tired, but who ain't these days? So,
Am I right?
WoHos, you know what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
My body's a little bit tired because I've started a journey, a CrossFit journey. I haven't gone to an official class yet, but I did 3 one-on-ones and then one like open gym.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they'll work you hard. And even though everything I've been doing so far has been like cut in half, it still is a lot. So I guess that means it's great that they cut that in half for me. Like on Sunday, I did like a early morning workout with a friend, and I did half of what she did. And I still basically burned as many calories as her, but she's been doing it for like 2 years. Isn't that so fascinating? The whole like how much you burn with your weight and fitness level. It's interesting.
Yeah, I know. I used to run with like really skinny bitches, and they would be so mad because I'd burned so many more calories than they did. And I'm just like, yeah, but I gotta haul this around all the time. Like, it's not like it's a picnic.
Yeah.
There is a cost. So, yeah.
Being in a place with many fitness levels, they really a place really has to do its best to make your beginners feel like they're not failures when they walk through the door. And this place, with the exception of one person, did a good job of that. But one of the coaches that, not that they would ever listen to this, but I still won't name names or the place it is, but this individual, I've since learned this is just how he is. Like, he says this to people who are very skilled too, very kind of condescending and rude. But when you are like new to something, especially when that something's fitness, that might as well be you telling me I'm a big old fat fatty and I should just go kill myself. Like that, I feel like, you know, you gotta be careful. You gotta be more gentle, because if I had not had this friend, or my friend is the one who got me to join, I would have been like, see ya. You can keep the money. I will never come here again. Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
you gotta make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah. I think I had pretty good luck here in Greensboro, but I had somebody I worked with in Raleigh, again, not naming names, and they did an okay job, but it's kind of hard, like when the trainer's like this almost like elite level athlete, you know, I guess they just don't understand what life is like for us who are not.
They don't. And those athletes still need to exist. Yes. But I think there is definitely a niche for people who have been unfit at some point in their life who then get fit. Mm-hmm. I was thinking like, I mean, this would be so fun. I'm not saying, obviously I'm day 0. I'm not even, but I was like, if I was to be a fitness trainer, that would be my whole thing, is I would be like, I know where you've been and like, I know what it's like. Because when you think about it, if you're training with somebody who's like, I'm presuming has been fit for most of their life, you are doing something they've never done in their whole life. So they don't know how to help you, and they don't know. It's like, I don't feel like they don't always see fitness as something that is deeply personal, but like it is, especially if you feel insecure about like your body or your fitness level. Mm-hmm. So then even if they don't mean, oh, you are bad, if you're hearing them be like, oh, well, that needs some work or blah, 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 you're thinking, I suck. I shouldn't even be here.
I'm sure there is training for that. I mean, I got to imagine that that is part of the deal. Let me move this mic closer to me. Hello. I don't know. I'm in the yellow now. Okay. Um, um, well, maybe, I mean, it's something to think about if you find that you just really love it a lot. I think that that would be great for you to be able to help people in that way.
Yeah. I think there's a need for it. I'm sure there are a lot of people who do that, but even sometimes, when you see some fitness people, when they show you their before and let's say they started off really overweight, I really can't stand it when those people are like, and look how ugly I used to be. What a big old fat fatty I used to be. They're like really demeaning to their prior selves. And it's like, that is you. That is still you. So, and that is the people watching you. So don't be rude. And I know it comes from a place of self-hate, but to me then it's like, oh, you still have a lot of work to do then.
Yeah.
Even though you're buff. If that's how you're talking about you a few years ago, go to therapy. Like, I once tried to do like a personal trainer thing, and this made me quit this lady. Was apropos of nothing. She's like, over the weekend I went to go walk in the park, and I see these people pull up right to the curb and they are obese. And it's like, they're the ones who need to be walking. Why are they parking, taking up all the closest parking spots? And just listening to her, I just was like, I need to cancel today. Like, I can't go to you now. Like, you're a piece of shit. Who says that?
Well, even I'm in a support group for people who are trying to have a better relationship with food, let's say. And I've heard people disparage other people's bodies and stuff. And I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, or what are you doing here? I mean, I really don't. I don't, and yeah, I just find that really offensive.
Yeah. It's just like,
and this is somebody who,
the definition of like a safe space.
well, this would be like after, like the general meeting. But this is somebody who only ever had to lose 15 pounds. So I'm like, okay,
Okay.
I don't have a whole,
really big deal, but like, come on.
I mean, it's really not about the weight itself. In some cases, it's about what's going on in your head, the insanity that can take a hold of you. And, there's so many ways to be screwed up around food and all that stuff. But, talking about somebody who probably has over 100 pounds to lose and you only ever had to lose 15, you don't know what you're talking about. And you don't have any right to say anything negative about that person. So
yeah,
it's disappointing when that happens. Fortunately, it's only happened a couple of times, but it's a bummer.
It's wild because it's like, I don't know. Again, it's like I've struggled with body image issues, but I also have the awareness of like, when I've had friends who were like, oh, I need to sit in like the booth. I can't sit in like these chairs at these restaurants because they never fit, my body and stuff. And that makes me realize like, oh, there's all these problems that like have never even like, just because of the body I was born with and the body they were born with and all this other stuff I've never had to go through. So even then there's a whole set of like things that like I can't speak to. And why would anybody, if you have no idea what it's like, to just be like, well, it's so easy, It's like, again, you've never had to do it, so is it?
Yeah. It just occurs to me that the films we're looking at today have a lot to say about one's relationship to one's body.
They do indeed, including our first film, Hatching. And we were going to call this girl adolescent movies.
Girl edition.
Yeah, the girl edition. So, or I guess we should say assigned female at birth edition.
Yeah.
The Okay, I was about to say something that's wrong. Some people will be like vagina haver. No, that's like no.
Oh, wow.
That's I think we're debasing it too far at that point. The assigned female at birth edition. Cut that.
Wait, the vagina have
So-
a part, or
Yeah,
you
just
want
don't
me to
even
cut
include
that
that.
part?
Yeah, cut that out. You might have to help me with these names also.
Oh, yeah, I know. I was gonna break them down. I think if you just go real slow, and just like break them down, I think it'll be okay. I mean, obviously, neither of us speaks Finnish, and neither of us speaks Malay, so we're gonna butcher these names for sure.
But here is Hatching. Here is Hatching, a short plot summary from IMDb. A young gymnast who tries desperately to please her demanding mother discovers a strange egg. She hides it and keeps it warm, but when it hatches, what emerges shocks them all. It is a Finnish movie. In Finnish, it is Pahan Hautoja? Toja?
I do think the J's are wise.
Pahan Hautoja. Directed by Hanna Bergholm and written by Ilya Rautsi. Starring Siri Solalina, Sofia Haikila, Janni Valanen, and Reino Norden. With cinematography by Jarkko Tienleen, edited by Linda Yildmalm, and music by Steinberg Svensson. It was released January 23rd, 2022 at Sundance and March 4th, 2022 in Finland with a runtime of 91 minutes. I think this was a pretty good runtime, though somehow it's still I loved this movie, but there were still some points where I was like checking my watch or like moving the mouse to be like, oh, there's that much left? Okay. So make of that what you will. And yes, be aware when we go through this plot that there is some graphic dog death mentions, harm to children, vomiting. So if all of that is too much, if that would ruin your day, skip this one.
Yep.
Yeah. So we begin with this like beautiful, picturesque, blogger opening of, my beautiful family. And there's this gorgeous, like mid-century modeled, it does look like the way that they designed this house was so perfect. Like this is a Pinterest board, this house. And I know, cause I've been a Pinterest lover for quite a long time. And I bet I have a few pictures that look just like this house. And, we're getting to see this family, beautiful blonde Finnish mom with her beautiful blonde Finnish daughter. And what's kind of weird is that it's one of those mom and dad made two clones of themselves. Yeah. And they all dressed like the little boy Matthias got glasses and like a blue button up just like his dad. And the daughter's been really modeled after the mom. That stuff always weirds me out. But it's done on purpose. There's a meaning to it. But this family looks so great from the outside. But we begin to learn more about what the family's really like. So our main character is 12-year-old Tiina, who practices gymnastics, much at the behest of her image-obsessed mother, who is a former figure skater turned influencer. And I love this first scene because, they're doing the mom's recording a brand new opening for her blog, and this crow hits the window, and Tiina goes over and lifts the window to see what happens, and the crow just messes everything up. It's like, I feel like such a great way to start off the movie to show you exactly, what this family is like.
Mhm.
Where the shots of the mom's reactions when the crow's hitting like vases and stuff are just great, because I was feeling the tension mounting
Mhm.
of everybody else in that room being like, oh no, like this is upsetting her. You can tell she's the controlling one of this house. Everything must be to her, you know, standards. And the daughter finally throws a blanket over the crow and is kind of holding it sweetly. And like the mom, it looks like she's about to be sweet. She's like, oh, Tina, bring it over here. And she's like, oh, like, what are you going to do with it? And the mom like kind of nicely takes it and then just snaps the bird's neck. Oh, it's so sad. Like, disorder will not be tolerated in this household. That is what this tells you from the get. And just gives it back to Tina and tells her to dispose of it outside with the bio refuse, which is gross. Composting is great, but the sound effects they used for this like vermicomposting bin of like the worms, I was like, they do not sound like that. You added that in. But Tina just kind of gently puts it right on the top of the bin. And then does she meet, I can't tell if this is kind of out of order, does she meet Rita right then? Because I feel like she's out there and then maybe Rita's just moved in.
That
So
could be. Yeah.
yeah. So there's a new neighbor girl moved in, and she's just Tina's age, which is great. And she looks really cute. She's got this really cute bulldog, French bulldog. And, you know, the shots are so beautiful because Tina's just kind of staring at her through this gate where there's all these peonies blooming on the gate. It's like a gilded, you know, bird cage kind of thing. This girl's obviously very lonely. But Rita comes right over and is like, hi, I just moved in. You know, this is my dog. Rusa, like, hey, meet her. And so Tina sticks her hand in, but Rusa is like immediately like, whoa, you know, and you know, Rita's like, wow, that's crazy. Like, she never bites anyone. But anyway, nice to meet you. And then that night, Tina is trying to sleep, but she hears like the sounds of the crows still. And so she goes out in the middle of the night. And I love this sequence because this all seems like a dream, you know? Like she opens up the bin and the bird's just not there. So then she's walking through these woods that are so perfectly like, you know, moonlight and mist. And she's got her white nightgown on. And she finds the crow that's dying. And it's like, you know, beyond help. And poor Tina, she just really feels for it and, you know, starts beating it with a rock to put it out of its misery. And the sounds that it makes are pretty sad and horrifying. I mean, you know, it's not a real bird, but even just imagining what Tina is going through in this moment, like she just keeps hitting it. But then she notices that there is a single egg in this, like, honestly, the way that this nest was made was so beautiful too. It just looked so perfect. And so she brings the orphaned egg home and incubates it in her room, and hides it from her family. So then we see her at, you know, gymnastics practice. Thing is, Tina's like not exceptionally good at gymnastics. She's trying to ace this one landing and just keeps not getting it. But her coach actually seems like a normal human being and is just kind of like, all right, well, you know, end it for today. You're good. Don't overwork yourself. And when she gets home, because the crow had broken the chandelier, she discovers that her mother is having an affair with the handyman, Taro. You know, at first it starts out really maybe something she could have explained away, like Taro's on this ladder and the mom is just kind of like touching his pants, but then he comes down and they start kissing. So it's like, okay. And poor Tina's face, the actress who plays Tina is incredible. This is a this is a child and she is killing it. Her face of just like sadness and horror as she's witnessing her mom cheat on her dad is so painful because Taro sees this. He notices first and he's like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. And The mom's just like, oh, well, this is our handyman. Nothing weird here. But then later that night, she kind of has like a moment where she's like, so you saw us. Sometimes parents have these, or adults have these special friends. So, it's really nothing too crazy. And Tina's just like, but what about dad? And she's like, well, your dad is, your dad. So we're just like, yeah, that's the point. That's why this is horrifying. One detail I didn't give yet is Matthias. I love the dynamic of Matthias in this family because Tina, from the moment we see her, is like, she's like a doll, she's like the mother's doll. She's got this beautiful long blonde hair. She talks in this little baby voice. She does anything the mother asks of her. Whereas Matthias is just like a little kid. Like he does what a little kid does, which is be messy, be be kind of bratty, be selfish. And the mom just so obviously hates this kid, and gives all this preferential treatment, even from the beginning of the movie, to Tina, which creates this weird dynamic in the family where, the son is obviously gonna want to be with the dad he was cloned from, rather than the other two. And I feel like it, in like a child's mind, that tells that Tina too, like, well, I can't ever be like that because then I won't get any of the love that I'm getting now, which is sad. So Rita joins Tina at the next practice session of gymnastics because there's one spot left for this competition that the mom is really jazzed for. And, Tina kind of hits, the move, but Rita immediately gets on there, just fucking kills it. And that makes the mom pressure Tina into continuing to practice the move again and again and again, even though it's a point of like, you need to end for the day. Like her hands are like blistered and they're bleeding and stuff. And the coach catches them and is like, hey, like, we got to close up the gym for the day. And the mom's like, oh no, we'll take care of it. And, the coach very pointedly says to the daughter, like, don't push yourself. But then a daughter, of course, has to, save face for the mom. So she's like, no, I'm okay. It's okay. This is like really tough. I really like this movie having finished it, but honestly, while watching it, it's pretty miserable of an experience because you're just like, man, this poor kid, this kid's life sucks.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem like anybody in the family is happy at all.
No.
The mom's having an affair. Matthias doesn't have, I guess he's got his dad, but his dad is like, we'll get to it, but he's distracted with his own stuff and knows that his wife is having an affair on him. And then Tina, she's just trying to make her mom happy. Whenever you're trying to make somebody else happy, you're not going to be happy. So she's, it's just a really unhappy family.
And it's so twisted for this mom to be doing this, like paying, instead of actually making her family happy, she wants to put in all this effort to have the appearance of a happy family, which I know is many things, it's something many people can relate to, but I feel like is so especially prevalent with like social media because I've caught myself looking at people having fun on like an Instagram post and being like, wow, everybody else seems so happy. Like, what's wrong with me? But then you come to find out they all hate each other or something. So, a picture does not tell you the whole situation, nor does even a video.
And I think the vlog called something like Our Everyday Lovely Life or something. And she's like, I just want to give you guys just a picture of our everyday lovely life. And hopefully you'll have a life as lovely as ours. And, it's kind of,
I hope not.
Yeah, it's sort of this absurd picture that she's presenting.
Yeah. And the mom is a great actress as well. She is just like, you hate her, but you love the performance. One of those. So the egg continues to grow abnormally large, and Tina's really using it as like maybe even like a surrogate for herself. Like, you know, when she's sad, she's hugging the egg and she's like, it's going to be okay, and crying into the egg. And the tears get absorbed by the egg's shell. And it finally hatches into this really insane looking, human sized, bird like pterodactyl, Dobby the elf, Smeagol creature. It's so hideous and scary. The daughter's, and I love this scene because the daughter like just covers her face like a kid does, of just like, well, I can't see it, so it's not real. And it escapes, but then returns the next evening with like a shard of glass through its arm. So, you know, Tina, you know, helps it, takes care of it. She like bathes it in the bath, and, you know, what's really cute is the little bird creature is now starting to like it's having fun in the bath, but making it messy. You know, the most like, this bird is like her id, you know, it's like all of her most base desires or human instincts, I feel like. So it's pretty fun, I think, for Tina to be able to be around this creature. And they've been singing this lullaby the whole movie. There's this creepy scene in the beginning where like the mom is singing this lullaby to the son, and he's just like, louder, louder, mother, sing it louder. And then the daughter comes over and they're just like singing it, looking at him. It's like, who would like this?
It's this creepy song, like Ollie's an orphan. Oh, poor orphan Ollie. And it's like, what the fuck?
It's like, oh God.
So grim.
So of course she names the creature Ollie. Makes sense. And it sleeps under her bed. One night, Tina just is like a little bit annoyed at Rusa's barking. Like, it really is nothing more than she like puts the pillow over her head, like, oh, that's annoying. But then wakens to find Allie on top of her with the dog's decapitated corpse next to her. And it's just like, look what I did for you. This is the thing we both wanted, right? And that makes her puke. And Allie is like, oh, baby bird moment. So then it eats it. And yeah, that's pretty disgusting. But it makes sense. I feel like I could forgive a lot of the disgustingness in this movie because it all felt like it had a real symbolic purpose. Yeah. It was just gross, but this is like, okay, yeah, you know, it's slowly becoming her. She's she's birding it, you know what I'm saying. So Tina buries Rusa in the backyard, unaware that Matthias is watching with a creepy paper mask on. So one evening after the mom has gone on a blogger's business trip, we all know what it was, she gets a present for Tina and not Matthias. She's like, oh, by the way, Tina, I got you this hairbrush, and starts just brushing her hair like she's her doll. And Matthias is like, where's my present? She's like, well, I didn't get you one. It's so fucked up. Which that pisses Matthias off. So he, goes and digs up Rusa's corpse and just brings it in, because we have had a scene where Rita just is like, oh, Tina, can you help me put up these missing posters for my dog? And Tina's just like, yeah, sure I can. Like, feeling so guilty. So yeah, Matthias is like, yeah, well, I know where the dog is. Tina killed it and buried it in the backyard. But of course the family is just like, Matthias, like, what did you do? They're not going to believe him over Tina. Oh, yes. So he then puts on a mask and sneaks into Tina's room because he has like an idea that there is, a creepy monster there. And so he's wearing his little paper mask while Tina's downstairs. And there's this really creepy scene, where he's like looking under the bed and Ali slashes his mask in fear. Meanwhile, Tina starts suffering a seizure because Allie and her are like psychically linked. So, when Allie is performing an action like this, Tinya's incapacitated in some way and vice versa. The next day, the mom is displeased because Rita does win the competition spot. And, Rita is like, oh, and there's even this moment where the mom's like, wow, like you're going to have to be more like her, if you want to win, more like your Tinya, you will have to be more like Rita. And so there's just like one tiny moment where Tinya is kind of looking at Rita like, oh, you're like fucking my life up, girl. Cause she's also making friends with all the other girls there. Like Tinya's very isolated. Her mom doesn't ever let her hang out with people. And so anyways, they offer Rita a ride home, but Rita's like, no, it's okay. I love to walk. And so she's walking home. And then we have another scene of, we got Tinya in the car with her mother, Rita walking at this really crazy looking long forested highway with no sidewalk. I'm like, who would ever let this girl walk alone like this? And she keeps looking behind her, like, is something coming? And then Tinya in the car is like, Mom, like, we need to go back. We need to go back for Rita right now, because she knows something bad's going to happen. And so she starts having another seizure, and Allie brutally attacks Rita. And now Allie's like beak has molted off, so she's looking more and more like Tinya with every molt. Back at the house, Tinya finds Allie's molted beak and realizes that the creatures begin to look like her. So later, Tinya brings Rita flowers because they've all heard about the attack and is horrified because, this girl has just been like, she looks like she's comatose, perhaps. She's got scars all over her face. Her hand's been amputated. And, when she kind of goes to reach for her hand, Rita grabs her hand and just starts screaming. And so she runs out of there. And when she gets home, she raises her hand up to slap Allie, but then just starts slapping herself, which she knows will hurt Allie. But then a really sweet scene where Allie like hugs Tinya and like, just pets her hair while Tinya cries. And in the next morning, Allie looks fully human, except for she's got some like scars on her face and her pupils are like white. Very scary. And it's just so sad. There's another scene where like, when Tinya's feeling so weird about her mom having an affair, she just kind of like walks up into like the dad's office while he's playing guitar, and he just kind of looks up at her like, hey, what's up? And she's like, nothing. He's like, this is my new guitar. Cool. And he just like puts his headphones back on like, okay, I'm gonna go back to doing this now. No sort of, how are you, my daughter? Are you okay? Do you want to talk about anything?
Yeah, that's true. And also the mom has like really overshared with Tinya. She's like,
yes,
guess what, Tinya? I think I'm in love. And Tinya's like, oh, that's great. That's amazing, Mom. And she's like, yeah, Taro is just like really the best. And the acting on the actress Tinya's face is incredible, because she just is like so concerned, but like trying to still smile, but she's obviously heartbroken herself that her mom is doing this to the family. And it's really a great moment.
I love that scene. And so disturbing that the mom's just treating this 11-year-old like her girlfriend rather than her daughter. Really makes you sad. And yeah, like as such an adult, number one, you're adultery, but even if like, it's just such a inappropriate thing, obviously. But she does not think of Tinya as a person. She thinks of Tinya as like her little buddy or her little mini me.
Mm-hmm.
So since Rita is hospitalized, the mom sees the bright side in this, which is that the competition spot is now open. So it goes to Tinya. Thank God. We have to look at something great that comes out of this. So Then the mom suggests something nuclear, and the movie loses me just a little bit with this. I feel like this is such a ridiculous scenario, but she's like, how about you and I stay with Taro for the weekend? And I feel like it's just a little bit of a sloppy way to set up an event that happens later, but it truly is like, I can accept, obviously, that the mom's having an affair, but to just be like, let's go stay with him, and that guy would be okay with that. If I was that guy, that would clue me into this mother, because he doesn't seem to realize yet that the mom's an insane person.
Right.
And I feel like that's just such a crazy thing to do, unless he thinks that she's a single mother, but how could he think that? I think that's a little bit.
He's their handyman,
yeah.
so he knows that she's married.
That's true.
But it is pretty clunky, because he's got to be the one to talk to Tina and be like, you don't really like gymnastics, do you? And all this kind of stuff. And then also, he's a single dad. He's got a baby girl. And so it also sets up the mother talking to the baby and Tina seeing that and sort of seeing how maybe that's how her mom cared for her once, but that's all gone now.
Yeah, they're good ideas, but the way that they were brought about just makes no sense in the real world in any way. Because like, you could have had the coach have this moment of being like, hey, you don't have to be perfect. And that would have made so much. We've already established that the coach is a normal human. So like, she would do that. But, and I mean, the scenes with Taro are sweet, but the whole time I'm just thinking, why are we here?
I mean, it would have been cool if her dad even was like, Tina, you don't have to do gymnastics. And I know your mom is really, kind of going after this. Because her mom was a figure skater, but she was injured. And so she wasn't able to go as far as she wanted, I guess. And so she's really living her life through her child. And it would have been really cool for the father to be like, this is fucked up.
Yeah. Because he seems to be offering some sort of solace to Matthias. So you have to wonder, like, why are we leaving Tina out of this? So, yeah, I would have done it differently. But because, again, when the mom brings this up, the dad's like, yeah, that sounds great. Taro's an awesome guy, and I know everything about this. Which, again, is like, what? Like, what are we doing here? Like, what is this dynamic? And he's like, well, your mom, she knows what she wants. And I love that she knows what she wants.
Yeah. We don't know. I mean, maybe he's impotent. Maybe he's, has no sex drive. I don't know. We don't know what's going on with him at all. And I wouldn't want Tina to know, like, intimately what's going on. But he also seems sad. So it's sort of like, well, are you okay with it or not? Because it kind of seems like you're not okay with it, but you're trying to be brave for Tina, I guess. But yeah, it's real fucked up that he would just like not allow, but he'd be okay with his wife going to stay the weekend with her lover.
Because like, Taro is a good guy, but that guy could be a total creep.
Yeah.
And you're just going to let your 11-year-old daughter at her house? Like, that just to me seemed so like, this is just negligent parenting at this point. Which, I mean, yeah, they are. But anyways, they're at Taro's house. He lives in this fixer-upper. It's like another brand of cottagecore, Pinteresty. They got the nice wooden doors and stuff. He looks like he was designed out of like a Pinterest thing himself. He's got like suspenders on. He's like a handyman, but still got like a handsome boyish charm. He's got like a nice haircut, and he's a single father, a widower. Just a dream come true. And like, there's a sweet scene where like they're having breakfast and the mom's on the phone, and the daughter, since the mom's not looking, like quickly eats as much food as she can, and then kind of spills something, and it's just like, I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry that I did that. And he's like, oh, well, that's actually how we do things here. And so he's like, hey, Helmy, how about we show her how real table manners are, and just starts like flipping food everywhere, which is so sweet because it makes like Tina giggle because she's 11. Like, she is a child. They're supposed to have fun.
I'm supposed to be able to
And
make
yeah,
mistakes.
yes. And I really do. It's like, it's tough because I do love the idea of introducing this baby because, you know, we'll have the mom being like, you know what, Tina, it's just a matter of effort. You don't put in enough effort or into anything. And then turn around to this baby and be like, my little princess. Oh, you're so perfect, you know? And Tina obviously is feeling jealous because at least in her own house, she's getting the biggest share of the love of their mother between her and Matthias. And now with this baby, she's getting a taste of what Matthias's life is like. And it makes her feel resentment towards Helmi. So later, I don't even know where the mom is, but Tina's just showing Taro like some cartwheels, but she keeps messing up. So then Taro purposefully messes up a cartwheel just for her and kind of talks to her about like, you know, are you just doing gymnastics for your mom? You know, like, do you really like it? And, you know, but later, you know, she does, we don't really have like a breakthrough. She's still kind of, because he's like, well, I know it would be important to your mom and whatever. And so later, Tina's feeding Allie in her room, vomiting into a bowl. Yeah, it's pretty gross. We've continued with that. And Taro walks up and just sees, you know, Allie looking like Tina over this bowl of throw up. And he's like, Tina, like, what's going on? And so Tina closes the door, which, because the creature's going to attack him, but it catches his hand in the door. And, you know, Allie's like beating against the door, and finally he gets his hand free. And poor Taro is just like, is this about what we talked about earlier? Like, you know, he just thinks like she's having like a nervous breakdown. And later,
I mean, and it's never said that she has an eating disorder or anything like that, you know, but it was really triggering to see her vomiting, you know, so much throughout this movie. And actually the first shot of her when she's doing her gymnastics in the living room, you can see the bones in her spine. You know, she's so thin that you can see them. And so, yeah, it was just really well done. Don't get me wrong, but just like very triggering if any WoHo is thinking about watching this and you have a history of eating disorders, that it might be triggering in that way too. I mean, it was sort of a creative way of showing her, you know, sort of eating disorder coded in a way.
Yes, for sure. And I mean, everything I've ever heard of anybody who's done ballet or gymnastics, that's like, it seems part and parcel with doing those sports, which is sad. I did a ballet class, and the girl who taught it was so nice because I was like, well, I've never done ballet. She was like, okay, well, I'm just warning you, the ballet world is very toxic. And like, I'm not trying to have that here, but I did ballet my whole life. And, you know, I struggled with an eating disorder, and that is just a part of the culture, which again, I've never done ballet. So, you know, don't get at me if you disagree, but any movie I've ever seen, including ballet, there's something about somebody having some disordered eating or body image issues. So ballet people, we need to work on this. So later, Tina walks out, you know, and this actress just does such a great job of looking so meek and scared all the time. She's always worried that she's messed up something, and this must be a nightmare for her, having something so outside of her control happening all the time. And, you know, we see Taro bandaging up his hand, and he's just kind of looking at her, and she's like, I'm really sorry. My mother can come get me now, and then you never have to see me again. And he's just like, hey, like, are you okay? You know, we'll talk to your mom about this. She's like, please, God, do not mention this to my mom. I will literally do anything. Don't mention it. And then the mom comes in and is like, oh, time to go to the competition. So then she departs. So, but that means that Allie is still in the house with both Taro and baby Helmi. And as Tina is, going to the car, she's like, well, Helmy's not coming with us. I think Helmy should come with us. And she's like, no, Helmy's not coming with us. And she just keeps being like, are you sure? Because I think Helmy could come with us to the competition. And it's just so sad. Like, this is both, she knows if something goes wrong here, because the mom's like, oh, by the way, I'm going to be live streaming the competition. So, expectation is you will do well and not embarrass me. What a fucking nightmare. And also, you got to be worried that your, alter ego is going to kill and eat a baby. So that sucks.
A little stressful.
Yeah. So Tina is anxious out of her mind. And as she begins her routine, she mentally sees Allie, who is about to attack Helmy with an axe. I mean, the baby's in a beautiful little, carriage in this empty room with like a billowing sheet from the wind in the window. And here comes Allie with this axe. And so Tina, in order to save Helmy, sabotages herself and falls, which injures her wrists and stops Allie. She drops the hatchet. But, Taro walks in because he hears Helmy crying and sees Allie escape through the window. And it's just like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? And then, of course, it's so awkward. Like, at the competition, when we see the mom just like, she's just kind of gripping Tina by the shoulders and like fake smiling at everybody. Like, yeah, and, is so angry at her, which is so sad because, you should just be like, my child, are you okay? You've just injured yourself. Did you just pass out from the stress I've induced?
Right. But I guess this is what it means to, have a parent who's a narcissist, like you don't really exist except, for what purpose you can serve that person. So yeah, it would be great if she would, express some care for her daughter, but I don't think she ever could.
She's not capable of it. Yeah. And so when they get back to Taro's house, he is right at the front door and he's like, nuh-uh, she is not coming in here because I just saw what she did. And I mean, they're both confused because they're like, well, we just came from the competition. And he's just like, listen, clearly your daughter's got some issues and I do not want to be a part of that. And he's like, you don't see it because you only think about yourself. Which, I mean, I wish he had not included the part about the daughter's issues. I know he just saw her almost kill his baby daughter, but he just built up a giant bonfire and doused it, with all the gasoline he could find and lit it and was like, there you go, Tina, have a great drive home, blaming, her mom losing the quote love of her life and putting the blame kind of on Tina is like, oh boy, well, and so, the mom goes and tries to reason, but when they leave, it's dark out and they get into the car and, Tina's just sitting there like, mom, like, and the mom just starts screaming and banging her head against the steering wheel so much so that her nose starts bleeding, which is scaring Tina out of her mind. And then it is terrifying because there's like blood all over her. And she just looks, she's like, you just don't want me to be happy. Could you even try to make me happy? Oh my God, bro. I think I might have mentioned it before, but I saw a TikTok once where it was like somebody gives birth to a baby and they're like, all right. And now, your only job is to love me. And the baby's like, well, that's great because I already do. And it's like, no, I meant to make me feel loved. That's your only job. Like, God. To this kid. And the kid being like, uh-oh. So yeah, she is pretty fucking pissed off at Tina. And at home, it's just a mess. Like Tina goes and takes a bath, is crying, is feeling horrible. The dad says nothing when even though he sees, like, the mom comes in and just starts like furiously kissing the dad, with the blood on her, and the dad just looks like afraid with
Yeah.
everybody else. Doesn't step in and isn't like a man or a father to his children, of course. And so while Tina is washing up, the creature is in Tina's wardrobe, and now she looks pretty much just like Tina, but she looks like a very grungy version. So, and gosh, this scene made me so sad. What? Disregard this. Where like Tina is looking as her mom is recording a video for her followers, and she can't do it. Like, she keeps starting and not being able to do it. And at one point she even starts to say, we talk a lot about how great life can be, but sometimes we need to remember that losing is okay too. And then just like drops the face. And that just killed me, that it's like you would rather portray this image to your followers than say that to your actual human daughter. And that Tina can only hear that coming from you if you're saying it to save face. That's just demented. So later, the mom finds Allie in Tina's room and mistakes her for Tina. And she's like, what is this? You look disgusting, and starts brushing her hair. And now we just get to like my favorite part of the movie. I do feel like this is just, I love the way this movie ended. I feel like it's perfect because number one, we can all just say now, Allie is just simply Tina. If Tina's like id, she is, if Tina could be 100% herself, maybe she wouldn't murder people or hurt anybody, but like, she can be disgusting. She can be a human. She can be a child. And she can hear her mom say this to Allie, saying like, you're disgusting. You look disgusting. So she's saying that to Tina, basically. So she knows, okay, well, this is what I would receive if I was to ever slip up. And so while the mom is brushing Allie's hair, she's got all these knots in it. And when she pulls really hard, like a part of her scalp comes out. And that's when the mom's just like, what the fuck's going on? And Allie attacks the mom, but Tina intervenes and Allie flees and screams as the sides of its jaw rip open, just like, and just is screaming with all the pain in the world. And Tina explains that all the recent chaos is because of Allie. And there's this moment that like literally kills me where the mom kind of like is like, oh, okay, well, come here, my baby, like, yeah, that was, you're not that, you're perfect. And so she's hugging her and stuff. And like Tina's smiling like, oh, everything's going to be okay. And her mom's like, but we'll take care of it. And goes downstairs and grabs a fucking butcher knife and gives one to Tina and is like, let's go kill it, basically. Right. Let's go kill you so you'll never be like this again. And like both Matthias and the dad are like, what are y'all doing? And they're like, there's somebody in the house, but don't worry, we're going to take care of it. And so in Tina's room, Allie overpowers Mother, who stabs it in the leg, that also makes Tina's leg hurts. And, Tina is trying to explain like, well, but I hatched it. Like, you can't just like kill it. Like, I hatched it, basically saying this, but this is me. Yeah. And then the mom attacks again anyway, only to realize she has instead stabbed Tina, who jumped in front of Allie to protect her. And I just love this because to me, this is saying like, if this mother chooses this path of, well, I will never accept you as your whole true self, I will only ever accept you being exactly what I want you to be, she has essentially killed Tina.
Yes.
That is what happens. Maybe when Tina's an adult, she's insanely depressed, and, like kills herself or something. Like, that's what happens to people when they go through shit like this. And, but yeah, essentially the mom has killed her. And so as Tina collapses onto Allie and dies, her blood falls into the creature's mouth, which completes its transformation. And like the mouth sews back up, and she pushes Tina's corpse aside and utters the word mother and stands up looking down at her. And then the mother's like so terrified. And I just love this look from Allie though, because I like to interpret it as you know, this is now Tinya being herself. That's my positive view of it is, you know, you can't hurt me anymore. Like, yeah, you just killed the version of me that would always be beholden to you. But now I'm going to do what I want to do now, which might be kill her whole family. But in a good ending, it could be just be her own person.
Well, that's a sweet way of looking at it. I think it's probably the first
To
thing
kill your
they
whole
said.
family?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She is a
probably.
monster, like a literal monster. But yeah, no,
That's
I
true.
get it. No, that the mother has killed that sweet girl, you know, because she wouldn't recognize who she really was.
Yeah. Well, what phobia is that? Arithmophobia is a fear of birds, and emetophobia is the fear of vomiting. Seeing vomit, hearing words associated with vomiting, and feeling nauseous may trigger this fear. I feel so bad for anybody with the ornithophobia because they're everywhere.
I know.
That would suck.
Oh, yeah, you can't really get away from them.
Yeah, they're always talking. Everybody else, imagine like everybody else is like, oh, the beautiful songbird. And you're like, well, they're not that great, actually.
The terrifying demon creature, you mean?
Yeah.
Nightmare creature?
Kill them all.
Yeah.
The creature was portrayed by an animatronic puppet created by lead animatronic designer Gustav Hogan and his team. As the monster evolves, instead of the puppet, it is played by different performers. The special effects makeup was designed by Academy Award-nominated effects artist Connor O'Sullivan. And this was the debut role for Cerise Solalina, a.k.a. Tinya /
Queen.
Fully Grown Allie.
Yes.
And she did a great job.
That's pretty incredible that she did both roles and, you know, it was her first movie ever.
Yeah, and gave like stellar performances. Well, briefly, what does Letterboxd have to say about it? Andrew Hooper gave it a 0.5 star. Holy shit, this was stupid, slow, and went nowhere. Where is this from? Finland? Well, I wish I didn't finish this movie. Oh, I'll see myself up. Delahan26 gave it a 0.5 star. Really rubbish film. No English. Bad acting. And the mother was annoying. Didn't like the actor. But good company and an experience all the same. No English.
No English.
Okay, bud. There is actually a surprising amount of loan words. Yeah. So sometimes it wasn't that hard to understand. Katie Bat gave it a 0.5 star. Arse. And that is our arse review. I love that. Connor Perkins gave it 5 stars. This movie is like if Black Swan and E.T. had a finished body horror baby. Perfectionism kills young girls. So does emotional repression. A bleak and absurd masterpiece.
Agreed, Connor.
May Hart gave it 5 stars. The behind the scenes of every family vlog channel. Yep. Blen gave it 5 stars. I feel like I need to see people discuss this movie in detail. Listen to the world of horror. But wow, this was such a unique horror film that makes me want to explore more foreign cinema. Yay! You should listen to the world of horror, Blen. Boy, do we have the show for you. Well, how would we rate it? How about eggs?
Good one. 4?
I'm going to give it 4 eggs. I take one whole egg off for the clunky stuff with Taro's house.
It is. It could have been told in a different way, for sure.
Yeah. But I liked pretty much every other part of it.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, I would give it 4 as well. I think it's really strong. And yeah, except for that middle part, it's a little clunky, but
yeah,
pretty solid.
What have we learned? A lot.
Oh, man.
What haven't we learned?
Um, Vomiting is
Hey,
disgusting.
which would you prefer, parents? Would you prefer an annoying kid who might mess up your clothes or a bird creature that kills your whole family? You can only pick one. And it all depends on how you raise it.
Oh no. Yeah, I just think relationships are hard. And I think communication is key. I mean, I'm not sure that Tina could have communicated clearly enough to Ollie that it would understand what she was trying to say. But I mean, rest in peace, Rusa the dog. It's so sad. But Ollie was just trying to, you know, help out Tina.
It's a good point. Like, it really was kind of like, super childlike. And okay, here's a lesson. You got to be careful what lessons you are teaching your children. If, let's say, you have a child that's you might think of as extremely well behaved, what you might be teaching rather is you should never speak up, you should never be yourself, and you should always put yourself down in service of other people. That could be the lesson you are teaching and you do not realize it.
Yeah, I feel like that happens a lot in the South,
Yeah.
those really well-trained boys and girls, I hate to see what's going on in their houses.
Yes.
And I get
that great scene in the Babadook, or was it the Babadook, when like suddenly the son is being really quiet, but it's because the mom is quite literally scaring him because she's possessed by the Babadook.
Yes. Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I get them when they're 18, 16, 17, 18, 19, and some of them are just so, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, thank you, ma'am. I'm sorry to bother you, ma'am. Do you have a moment to speak with me? I'm sure you're really busy. And it's just like, kiddo, it's like,
yeah,
I'm here.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah, it's going to be okay. Did the mean lady hurt you?
And perfectionism, it, like, in the movie, I love the detail that like Tina has no friends. Like, right. She's kind of a pariah because anytime anybody does even offer her a branch, she's got to do something for her mom. She's got to go running. She's got to do this. Her mom is always like, well, do you care about the competition? Mm-hmm. Okay, then you can't hang out. And so by enforcing this, you are, I think a real popular great person, would like have friends, not just win one gymnastics competition.
I remember one time I was in therapy and we were just sort of going down the list of things. And she said, do you have any friends? And it was a period of time in my life when I didn't. And that's a red flag, y'all. Friends are very important.
You need them.
You do.
Would we watch it again?
Yeah.
Yes. At first I thought no, but now I think yes. It got me by the end. Favorite scene and or kill?
Oh my gosh. When that mouth splits open, I was just like, I think I made a sound and scared my cat. Yeah, it is super, super scary. I don't know. There's something about like an absurdly large mouth that's just terrifying. Yeah. I don't know if it's like my crocodile fear or what it is, but there's just something that's like primal about that.
Yeah. No gaping maws.
No.
I guess mine is the scene where they're hunting down Allie, just because that's when it all came together for me. And when I was like, okay, this movie's great.
Yeah. There's a sweet moment earlier when Tina is bathing the creature, and that's just a really nice thing because she gets to really kind of be herself and also caretake for this, part of herself, really. So I
Yeah.
liked it.
Oh, I forgot to mention one of my favorite parts is at one point when, you know, the mom is first seeing Tina and Allie side by side. Tina's yelling at Allie and is like, "Go away. Nobody wants you. Nobody wants you here." And that made me so sad because, like, she's saying it to herself. She's saying, like, "Go away, me." Like, nobody will ever love you. Nobody will ever want you. And I think it's so great and so painful.
Yeah. This is a really powerful movie.
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend it for sure.
Same. Who wins the You Fool Award? It's got to be the mom.
Yep. The mom.
Perhaps the dad as well. Let's throw him in
Both
there
of
too.
them. Yes. Yeah, they both suck.
Yep.
Yep.
Kick them both out.
They're both fools. Well, that's Hatching. All right, Tiger Stripes. The short plot summary from IMDb says an 11-year-old girl who is carefree until she starts to experience horrifying physical changes to her body. Okay, that's not grammatically correct. We're not going to worry
How
about
about a carefree 11-year-old girl starts to experience horrifying physical changes to her body?
Yeah.
That's what it says.
Written and directed by Amanda Nell Yu, starring Zafreen Zarizal as Zafan, Dina Ezral as Farah, Pika as Mariam, Shahazi Sam as Dr. Rahim, Snake Oil Exorcist. Cinematography by Jim Ferrer, edited by Carlo Francisco Monatad, and music by Gabor Modus Operandi. It came out on the 17th of May, 2023 at Cannes, and it has a running time of 95 minutes. I shudder to ask, how did you feel about this runtime, Mac?
Boy, felt a lot longer than 95 minutes. This could have been a short film.
Yeah.
I think we all would have been better off for it.
You know what's weird? I watched it twice, I think one day after another. And the second time, I liked it a lot better. So, yeah, I don't know. All right. So, trigger warning for squirrel and frog death. There's a close-up of Zafan panting. Zafan is joyfully doing a TikTok dance in a bathroom and removing her... I'm going to call it an abaya. I looked it up. I don't know the proper term for her outer clothes. But head to toe covering is called an abaya. So, okay. Her abaya and headscarf. Farah notices that Zafan is wearing a bra and tries it over her clothes. A teacher comes to get the girls, and Zafan plays a trick on her, telling her to push on the door as Zafan opens it. She is then called out in front of the whole school. After school, Zafan, Mariam, and Farah put stickers on trees, lamp poles, and posters on the way home. Zafan teases her friends with a frog. Farah says to kill it, but Zafan lets it go. Farah accuses Zafan of showing off and pressures her to remove her bra from under her clothes, saying only sluts wear them.
I loved, honestly, the portrayal of Farah. I feel like I had many such friends at this age where you were teetering on the edge of, like, do we hate each other? And there was just maybe one little event that could occur where it's like, yeah, now we're enemies.
Yeah. It's such a weird age, I think. 11, 12.
Mm-hmm.
It's just such a strange age. I don't know what else to say about it.
I feel like we're beginning to learn what society is, and then we as humans crave societal, like, inclusion, but it's so clumsy at that age, and just so brutal, because it's just like anything we can pick about you to make us be a group that you're not in, we're going to do that.
Yeah. Zafan eats spring rolls at home. Mom is upset because Zafan walked home in her underclothes after her abaya had gotten soaked in the river. Mom drags Zafan outside and throws her on the ground, saying, "You bring shame to our family." That night, Zafan is awakened by her first period. Her mom, who seems annoyed, says, "You're dirty now," and runs a shower for her. Oh, no.
This is so fucking brutal, man. I feel like weirdly, might be surprising being a trans masculine person, but I was so jazzed to get my period. It was such a joyous moment. I said, "Mom, it happened!"
Oh, crazy.
Yep.
You had one of the most, you had a positive experience, and you're one of the only people I know who ever did.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom hid in her bedroom. She couldn't take it. She didn't want to deal with it.
What the fuck, man? It's not even that hard, really. Like, you're the adult, you know?
I remembered that memory when I was watching this movie, and I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but it's a really big deal.
It's psycho.
Oh, well. Zafan notices a caterpillar on her abaya and pets it. Farah and Mariam are watching a video about a tiger loose in a village, but Mariam shuts it off before the tiger is killed. I thought that was a pretty good inclusion. So this is a lot of, slice of life. It's not a whole lot of plot. These moments that I can describe them, but you really have to just sort of experience them. I think they're very sweet, but the tiger almost being killed by the villagers being killed, but Mariam cuts the video off before that. I thought that was really important.
Mm-hmm.
The senior class goes to prayer, but Zafan is excused because she has her period. Zafan is on her own, drawing stick figures in her notebook in sexual poses. Farah steals Zafan's notebook, and Zafan gets it back by hitting Farah with her backpack. That looked like it.
I think
really
we all
hurt,
wanted
too.
that to happen. Yeah. That's one of those moments where the teacher's like, you're going to get in trouble, even though you were pushed to that point.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Farah has a lot of negative opinions about Zafan's period. Mariam reads what sounds like superstitious stories about a girl who ran into the jungle. She also finds something on the internet that says, if you don't clean the pads properly, demons will lick that blood.
As if getting the period isn't bad enough,
Right.
You got this new chore, like a damn old chore, and you don't really know how to deal with it yet. You're going to ruin so many clothes in so many embarrassing ways. And now like a demon's going to come after you. It's like, can we do anything right?
Zafan just thinks it's funny. She's not really afraid or anything. In the bathroom at home, instead of throwing away her pad, Zafan flushes it down the toilet. Zafan notices that she is shedding hair. She places it on the bathroom wall. So gross.
This is so, like, they know, like, this is so 11-year-old girl, which I love, It's like, you're kind of nasty.
Yeah.
When
Oh,
you're,
yes.
I mean, I put hair on the shower walls when I was that age. Like, I don't know. And I liked that scene of her washing, like, the blood off the pad first, like, trying to, will it that it didn't happen.
Well, I also wondered if that was like a part of safety, so critters wouldn't like be attracted to the smell or something.
That makes sense.
Zafan is on a tire swing and sees a woman high in a tree staring down at her with glowing eyes. Mariam gives Zafan an answer in class when Zafan is distracted by an animal outside her window. I sort of missed what happened, but she was distracted by something. She's hearing animals'
Yeah.
noises very clearly. And I think this is one of the first moments of that. Zafan seems overcome with cramps. She asks to go to the bathroom, but is denied, and she eventually wets herself. Her teacher shames her and tells her to go home.
One thing that stood out to me in this movie that I found, like, I'm not saying I dislike it, but it just makes me sad that there are no kind of positive female role models in this movie in any way, shape, or form. Like, besides the mystical woman in the tree, like she might be the best adult female role model.
Yes.
And every other one is always there to shame these girls. Well, Zafan mostly, and I mean, I know it's true that women are can be some of the largest upholders of the patriarchy themselves, but just made me like, I don't know. I was like, this is a hell world. Like, there's nobody looking out for her.
What about the cadet leader?
I mean, she wasn't mean, but I would not say she was a role model.
Yeah. Maybe that's the best we can hope for. I don't know. Zafan is in the bathroom stall and hears girls, mostly Farah, talking trash about her. They say she smells, and no one wants to sit next to her anymore. At home, Zafan cries in the bathroom. When she strips off her clothes, we see that her arms and back are covered in a painful-looking rash. She also plucks a thick hair from her upper lip. Okay, I wanted to say, as somebody in her, I guess, late 50s now, mid to late 50s, and I don't hear a whole lot of representation on podcasts from people in my age group. But I just wanted to say that just as, I mean, it's sort of a cliche that teenagers smell bad when they're going through puberty. Women going through menopause also smell bad. So I felt strangely seen by this part of the film.
That actually makes sense, because I don't know if it was the testosterone. I mean, it was testosterone induced, but when I went through mini like menopause, like I could smell myself. I was like, dear God, like what is happening? And I'm sweating because I'm having hot flashes all the time. And it was, God, okay. But I do remember going through like adolescent puberty. And one time, because I was kind of like, I did not like to bathe as a kid. Wasn't all about the deodorant. And one time my brother, of all people, I'm not saying that he stinks, but a boy of all people was like, hey, you need to wear deodorant. You need to start wearing deodorant. He's like, I can't live with this anymore. and that actually got me to wear deodorant. So thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you from all of us, Sam. I'm just kidding. I don't remember that at all. Zafan is shunned at school. Her friends don't want to sit next to her at lunch. When Zafan is at the river, she peels one of her fingernails off. Oh, no.
This to me is so unnecessary. When I was talking before about hatching It's Disgusting Things feeling a little bit based in something that had context, this to me just felt like, isn't this gross?
Yeah. I agree.
You can do the rash. You can do the crazy thick, plucking that hair. You don't need the fingernails.
No, that was completely unnecessary and uncalled for. Nothing happened to my fingernails when I was going through puberty.
I guess it's because the claws are coming in, but it's like, bruh.
I didn't even think of that. Well, I didn't. Mariam and Farah are cadets and have a meeting after school. Zafan says that she can wait for them, but Mariam says Farah says they can't hang out with her. Zafan's dad is cleaning his gun. Zafan asks if she can join the cadets and wants to skip school to be with her dad, but he says, nice try. But I thought they had a nice moment.
Yeah, he's like, remember when you used to, help me clean my gun and stuff? But still, it's giving a little bit dad from Hatching too. He kind of was like,
Hmm.
well, I'll just let my wife terrorize my daughter
Yeah,
and not give her any solace.
that's true. Stefan is the 13th cadet on a camping trip. That night, a mysterious sound from outside their tents wakes up the girls. One of the girls says when she went to pee, she saw a woman in a tree staring down at her. They hear a strange noise and all gather to pray. Stefan looks up and sees the woman in the tree. The next morning, the girls are trash talking Stefan again, saying whatever was making noise was attracted to Stefan's smell, and girls on their period shouldn't be allowed on camping trips. When they take a head count, they find that Liana is missing. Stefan smells something and finds her high up in a tree. Liana says that the lady said the girls would not be able to bully her if she were in the tree. Stefan is honored at school for her bravery and leadership. She is also recognized as the third in her class. Farah is fourth. While Stefan is getting her badge, the girls are sending around a mean note about her. Farah asks Stefan why she is copying her. Stefan says, "Why would I want to copy you? I got third. You got fourth."
Oh! Favorite part.
Best part.
That was amazing. I my favorite parts of this movie, honestly, are all the Mean Girl shit, because I think sometimes Mean Girl stuff can feel like this person's never actually, this is like somebody's idea of what a Mean Girl thing is,
No,
but this is real,
real.
especially the inclusion of like the Miriam being like, because, it's her first time being a young girl too, but like, I like how much she is like, I don't like this. Like, I know this is wrong, like, but I'm too scared to say anything because then I'll be, the next Safan. And so I thought that was a great inclusion too.
Yeah, yeah. No, I thought from jump this was a really great portrayal of Mean Girls. I mean, maybe one of the best.
I think so. Yeah.
Stefan has been wearing gloves for some time now. When her mom confronts her about them, Stefan slaps her mom and runs away. She catches a frog and kills it, but then feels guilty and buries it under leaves. Several girls confront Stefan in the bathroom. Mariam leaves, but Farah pins Stefan down and slaps her face. Oh, this was brutal.
Yeah.
Suddenly, a girl starts screaming and seems to have a seizure. Stefan is backed into a corner. She is on her hands and knees, and we can see her hands are large and she has long nails. She swipes at Farah. A teacher comes, but she also falls to the ground and starts screaming and seizuring.
What, like, this is the part that kind of lost me. Like, this whole hysteria stuff. I don't know. I thought it was just a bit like, what's happening now?
I think it's that, I think the way it is being perceived in the community is that there's something bad happening, to one of their own. And so that is having this like negative effect on everybody else. But there have been stories of like, especially like at all girls schools, it seems like there was a group of kids who just couldn't stop laughing for like a strangely long period of time. And it wasn't just one or two, it was like 30 kids or something. So I think there was maybe some of that too, where just like sometimes like weird shit happens. The fact that it happened to one of the teachers, I thought was kind of telling. Stefan runs, but the very next scene is Stefan running away. So, I mean, I think it's connected to her, obviously. Stefan runs into the jungle and throws a fit. She hops up a tree. Enter Dr. Rahim. Stefan comes home, but becomes nauseous after eating the spring rolls. She sees 2 chickens in her front yard. She runs out, and we hear squelching sounds.
Just a lot of just raw animal eating.
Yes. During extracurricular activities at school, some girls are overtaken with the entity and begin screaming and shaking. Zafan is by the tire swing. She's struggling with a pain in her gut. She hops up the tree, grabs a squirrel, kills it, and eats it. She hisses and growls on all fours back at the jungle. Dr. Rahim is streaming. He says he will drive the evil presence away. So Dr. Rahim is just this oily huckster. And the kids all know it. Everybody knows it. I thought the scenes with him were really, really good.
Yeah, and like him being like, guys, check out my Facebook. Don't forget to tag Dr. Rahim. You can all stream this, by the way.
We hear growling in the jungle as Mariam comes across a boar that has been attacked and eaten. Mariam smells something and finds Zafan floating in the river with blood all over her mouth. Zafan reveals herself to Mariam. She now has a tail.
I love this scene because, you know, she's like, go away. And Miriam's like, no, like, I know you're here. And she's like, I don't want to go back to school. Miriam's like, I don't either. And
yeah. That's very
I just thought they were very sweet.
Mariam's a real one.
Mm-hmm.
At home, Zafan is screaming she doesn't want to go back to school. She is frightening her mom. The parents reluctantly call Dr. Rahim. A crowd follows Dr. Rahim into a public hall. The parents are skeptical. Dr. Rahim has a ring light and is streaming the exorcism. Farah comes to watch, but says she doesn't want to sit next to Zafan. Mariam and Zafan's father put their hands on Zafan. Zafan shouts that she wants to leave. Dr. Rahim tells the spirit that if it leaves here, it will be banished. Zafan begins hissing at Dr. Rahim. Mariam is the first to turn on him, but the crowd joins in. Dr. Rahim begins beating Zafan to get the spirit to emerge.
This was so sad to me, like, but felt very real, you know, of just, I don't know, brutalization of like girls and women, of like, just if you see there's a problem, just like beat it out of them, beat them into submission. And I felt like this was really hard to watch, but like a good inclusion.
Yeah, me too. Men try to hold her, but she is too strong for them. Dr. Rahim seems scared. Zafan now has paws on her hands and feet and is hissing at Dr. Rahim. We hear a growl and then see Zafan emerge and throw Dr. Rahim's decapitated head on the ground. The crowd follows her as she sheds her outer clothes. She has teeth, whiskers, and a tail. Farah screams. Mariam now wears gloves. Farah says she's going to find Zafan, but Mariam says Zafan is gone. Zafan's mother is crying on the steps to the house and says she wants to wait for her. One night, Mariam sneaks out of the house and goes into the jungle. Zafan is in a tall tree. The girls chase each other, and Farah joins them. The trio run around. At one point, Mariam swipes at Farah and scratches her leg badly. The final scene is Mariam filming Zafan joyfully doing the TikTok dance in the river.
I did love this. Like, I know there can be no happy ending that for like every story like this, of like, if you are just in a society that, you know, will never let you thrive, then you do need to, for your own, you know, well-being, leave sometimes. So I liked that message, but then it also was like, you know, this is like a bittersweet. Because, you know, Miriam isn't drinking the Kool-Aid either. So, you know, she's slowly going to become one of these like wild women. And to have the mom be crying, but it is like, well, you did this. Like, she's not coming back because of you. So
Yeah.
I don't know what you're crying for. Guilt.
I don't know. I can sort of see it from the mom's point of view. It's just very difficult. I mean, kids are supposed to grow up. That's what's supposed to happen. But it is difficult to see your little children change, you know, and they used to be like mama's little girl or mama's little boy, and they're not anymore. And it's painful, and it can make you feel angry and scared. And so I can sort of see it from her point of view too. I have like people in my friend group now who are all becoming empty nesters at the same time. And I'm like,
Mm.
look out, watch out. You might be, they're like, well, no, I'm really excited, they're going to college and this is really, and I'm like, I know it's what's supposed to happen. It's like the next, step, but just watch out, because I didn't think it was going to hit me, and it hit me like a freight truck. I mean, it was
Oh,
really tough. So, but I
yeah.
didn't think it would be, but
Hmm.
I think it just is these milestones that, and we don't really talk about them very much.
Yeah.
This was Amanda Nellew's directorial debut, and the first Malaysian female-directed movie to be screened at the Cannes Film Festival when it was selected for Critics Week 2023. In Malaysia, Malay people call the Malayan tiger harimau belang. Harimau is tiger in English, and belang means stripes. Briefly, what does Letterboxd have to say about it? Well, Ains gave it 5 stars. This is Ginger Snaps if it was set in Malaysia. And I don't say that to undermine the storytelling or the direction of this, because it's so unique and it tells such a different story of raw female rage that absolutely couldn't be captured by a story about white American girls. So glad I decided to watch this. The way they intertwine friendships and bullying and all the expectations of girlhood in Malaysia into this kind of transformation is really breathtaking. I really like a full circle ending and love the ending here. Puberty/period horror is so awesome. Raul Lemos gave it 5 stars. I watched with Nayla, so I gave 5 star.
Okay.
I love those. Clara watched this and gave it 5 stars. If I watched this when I was 13, it would have inspired me to go into the woods and scream more. Tavindran Rames gave it 1.5 stars. All right, I got it. No, I don't.
It's not that hard.
Kazan gave it 1 star. This got weirder the further I went into it. By the end, it was just too much weird. Dylan Dracula Anson gave it a 0.5 star. One of the most juvenile and idiotic movies ever. After the horrible first half, it turned into an unbearably awful watch.
This is a pat. I won't assume that every single poor reviewer was male, but when I was Googling reviews online, most of them were by men. And I just need to say that sometimes a movie is not for you. And like, that's okay. But that doesn't mean that it's idiotic or bad. Like, something that blew my mind, I feel like I am realizing, maybe even just during this podcast, that I truly have had maybe one of the best female puberties the world's ever seen. I guess like attitudes towards it, to where like when I became aware that men, not all men, but some men view periods as like, ew, disgusting. I was like, oh my God, grow up. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, this is shit that little girls have to go through and get over. So like, you can fucking get over it, 40-year-old man. Like, this movie reminded me a lot of Turning Red, which I loved. And there was so much controversy about it, of like, well, we can't have people talking about periods in like a movie. Why the fuck not? Like, not as if we're, half the world's not going to go through it. Like, that's so crazy. And yeah, I just really think if you are somebody who does not have, if you've never experienced a period and your thought is, ew, gross, I think you need to grow the fuck up.
Amen.
It's not that gross. Truly, it is not. You pee and poop. Is it that different? Are we like, oh, gross, I peed. Oh, I can't believe I just peed.
Sometimes I do have that feeling, though.
I mean, like, obviously when you stain a pair of your favorite pants with, like, one time at a friend's house, I quite literally got period blood on like a chair I was sitting on. Was I mortified? Absolutely. But was everything okay in the end? Yes. Did I flip the pillow over and never say anything? Yes.
That doesn't mean everything was okay in the end.
Okay, but I asked her, I was like, by the way, she was like, yeah, I know that was you. So everything was fine. Everything was fine.
Wow. Okay.
But if I saw that on one of mine own chairs and I thought, was this a sixth grader? I would have been like, okay, whatever. As if boys aren't doing nasty shit every single day.
Oh my God. Don't get me started. How would we rate it? How about in whiskers?
You go first.
3.5?
Okay, that's what I was going to say. 3.5. I think in some ways this movie is challenged. And I say I mean that more so as in, like, I do feel like there's so many repetitive scenes of her eating creatures where it's like, we get it. Yeah. I get it, you know. So I don't think they had enough to fill out 90 minutes. But if they had just filled out all the stuff they had stuff for, I would have given it perhaps even 4.5 whiskers.
Yeah, when I saw it the second time, everything seemed to fit together pretty cleanly, you know, because I knew what was coming up in every next scene. Yeah, I guess it could have been shorter and they could have cut some things. I thought you were going to say you felt it was challenged by the low budgetness of it all.
Some parts did kind of make me like when she's, you know, climbing the tree, it was very Twilight-esque. It's all I could think of. And I thought the hands and the feet and the whiskers were a little bit much. But then at the same time, I was like, you know what? I'll allow it because I would rather a movie be creative and try something than just do some boring bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought the last scene at night was shot really well. I mean, it's really hard to shoot at night or shoot in the dark. But I could see everything that was going on and I don't know how they did it. So I thought that was pretty great.
Yeah. And I thought all the girls did a great job.
Oh, they were really good. Like all really strong. What have we learned?
I think we need to allow for people to, or I guess, like, if you were going to make somebody a pariah, don't be shocked when they act in the way that you told them they were going to act, you know? Like, if you're pushing somebody constantly and you're like, you're horrible, you're ugly, you know, don't be like so shocked when they act in a way that you might see as ugly or something, you know?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would also say girls are much meaner than anyone thinks. I mean, you might think you know how mean girls are, but you don't, unless you've lived through it.
Yeah.
And I forgot. I mean, I went through puberty at 10. And oh my God, it was brutal. I was like psychically brutalized, you know, and it was stuff beyond my control. It didn't have anything to do with me as a person. It just had to do with what was happening to my body. I was the tallest in my class at 5'2". But, I mean, yeah, I felt like a monster. It was rough. It was very rough. And it wasn't the boys that were mean. It was the girls that were the meanest.
Yeah.
Would we watch it again? No.
Yeah, no. But some of the shots were truly gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I'm not a hater. Don't get it twisted. I just think if it was half as short or half as long, I would watch it again.
Also, I mean, sometimes once is enough.
That's true. Titan, I ain't watching that shit again.
Oh,
but
really?
did I love it? Yes.
Favorite scene or kill?
Anytime the girls were being girls, I thought that was really sweet. Like them sticking the stickers around, and then later when Safan's by herself, she's sticking stickers, and then Miriam finds the stickers that Safan had placed, and you could tell it hurt her heart. All that stuff was very sweet to me, because girls can also be very sweet.
can.
They can be very mean. They can also have some of the most beautiful friendships you've ever seen.
That's right. They contain multitudes. I liked the scene with Dr. Rahim, the exorcism scene. I thought that was
Same.
fun.
I liked how everybody started being like, this guy sucks.
Yeah, I love it. And what's with all this water stuff? Who wins the You Fool Award?
Probably Dr. Rahim.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
getting into.
He really walked in there like Mr. Big Shot, and then he got his head cut off. So
Yeah. So don't do that.
yeah.
Well, thank you, Mac, for having this conversation with me about hatching and tiger stripes. And thank you, WoHos, for joining us and for all your support. It means the world of horror to us, truly. We appreciate you downloading the show and telling all your friends all about us. Next time, what will we be looking at, Mac? Would you rather we look at movies about home invasion or movies about trying to defy fate?
Home invasion.
All right, so that means we will be looking at C for Me and Sleep Tight from Spain. Remember, WoHos, we love you, and don't go into the basement.